It may be niche, but it's instant speed, quality, asymmetrical creature removal, like a super fleshbag marauder. Oh, and it even deals damage. Try it out today. Welcome back, Stang Twin Clones. So, we're finally back with another game of straight Commander, and let me tell you, we have so many games of Commander on tap to edit, it's not funny. Like, if you told someone who was laughing how many games of Commander we had to edit, he would stop laughing. That's how not funny it is. We have more games recorded than we will ever be able to publish at this rate, so if you're someone who likes to narrate and edit, we could hire you. Anyway, this was another game we played so long ago, we're just getting to now. It's back when I was still playing my Medomai, I don't even remember its last name, it was so long ago. The deck was only okay, so I stopped playing it in favor of Bruna, though it was fun to equip her with the Fire Shrieker and take 2 extra turns in a row. Other than that, it was just a standard blue-white control deck, which was more control and less closing out the game. Hopefully we'll see a bit more closing out the game from the rest of these commanders, like June playing the deck you already know he's playing. Josh playing his Marath Will the Wild deck. Oh, and he made some new additions to it. And June's brother, whose name I forget, playing my Kaalia deck.
Alright, let's do it!
Marath starts the game this time, and Medomai starts his turn by suspending Ancestral Vision. Oh, how the mighty have risen. The card was like $4. People play tap lands, and on his turn, Medomai casts Stoneforge Mystic for Lightning Greaves, for some hasty Medomai action. Karador cycles a land. On his turn 3, Karador casts Survival of the Fittest, leaving up a mana to use it. Kaalia casts Faithless Looting, dumping Unburial Rites and Admonition Angel into his graveyard. Medomai attacks Mr. Survival with SFM and casts Coalition Relic. Marath comes out to play on his turn 4 with June pitching Massacre Worm for Vorinclex. June discards Vorinclex on his main phase to get another creature and then casts Anime Dead to put Vorinclex Voice of Hunger into play, screwing the team pretty hard. Kaalia joins the battle on its next turn. On his turn, Medomai uses white mana for the Relic to Path to Exile Vorinclex, and in response, Karador puts stuff in his yard with Survival and then finds a basic land. Marath hull breaches Survival of the Fittest and Medomai's Coalition Relic. Marath then attacks Medomai, dealing him 1 damage, and then shoots his creature, and in response, Medomai forges in Lightning Greaves. Karador Karmic Guides in Shieldred Whispering 1, which causes Kaalia to die on its turn. Kaalia loses 2 life for Blood Crypt and casts Phyrexian Arena. Medomai casts Consecrated Sphinx, goes to equip with the LG when Marath K-grips the equipment, destroying it. On Marath's turn, he sacks his last Saproling to Shieldred, and Medomai draws 2 cards off his draw with the Sphinx. Marath comes back out as a 5/5. Shieldred returns Mikaeus to play. Then Duplicant removes the Sphinx from play. Shieldred attacks Medomai for 7. Kaalia loses a life from Arena on his upkeep, but does nothing for his turn. Medomai casts Gilded Lotus and Sower of Temptation, taking Shieldred, but then Marath uses Homeward Path for whatever nonsensical reason to give it right back to Karador. Marath attacks Karador for 4 and then uses Savage Twister for 6 for some reason, killing Karador's creatures, but they all come right back anyway from Mikaeus, and Karador then gets Mikaeus right back into play on his upkeep from Shieldred. Karador then goes to attack Marath for 12, but Kaalia finally decides to terminate Shieldred, which doesn't trigger Undying. Marath takes 4 damage. Kaalia loses another life on his turn from the arena, but has no substantial play still. Medomai draws 5 cards from Kaalia by casting Recurring Insight, and then casts Wrath of God, clearing the board of creatures. On his turn, Marath comes back out for a 3rd time, 7/7. Karador casts Woodfall Primus to blow up Medomai's Gilded Lotus. Kaalia loses a life and finally gets a haste enabler with Hall of the Bandit Lord. Medomai casts Sun Titan to get back Greaves, and then attacks Kaalia for 6, But then Kaalia has a clutch Crackling Doom, dealing 2 damage to everyone else, and them all losing a big guy. Tech. The persisting Primus pummels Medomai's Greaves. Marath attacks Kaalia for 1 with a Saproling. Karador recasts Shield Red and attacks Kaalia for 5 with the Primus. Kaalia loses 4 life on his turn, including the haste from the Hall into Kaalia, into a Chroma Angel of Wrath. Karador takes 8 damage. Medomai, being a control deck, casts Hollowed Burial to solve the Shield Red problem, and then Jace Architect of Thought to get some cards. Marath does nothing on his turn, but check out Karador's next turn. So Karador casts Phyrexian Delver, losing 5 life to return Karmic Guide to play, to return Mikaeus Unhallowed to play, which flips his Hideaway to reveal Deadbridge Chant. He went from 0 to ridiculous in 1 turn. Kaalia loses another 4 life on his turn to cast Harvester of Souls with Lightning Greaves. Medomai briberies Karador to get Bane of Progress, mostly to get rid of Karador's enchantment. Medomai then time warps himself, and then casts Thought Reflection and a boosted Serra Ascendant. Marath then again feels it necessary to wrath Karador's board, despite the fact that Karador has Mikaeus and everything just comes back anyway, except now Karador gets an extra creature with Massacre Worm. Karador loses 6 life from the Delver trigger. Karador forgets to pay the Echo cost on the Karmic Guide during his upkeep, but no one catches it, so he keeps it alive and even factors it into the Craterhoof Behemoth trigger when he casts that. He puts Kaalia and Medomai to 2 life, factoring in the Jace trigger. Kaalia then casts Aurelia the War Leader and attacks Karador twice, but Marath gives it double strike with Boros Charm, putting Karador also to 2 life. So, it looks like this game is about over, huh? Would you believe it goes on for almost another half hour with everyone still alive? It does. Skipping ahead, with Karador now on the field, he's able to cast Karmic Guide out of his graveyard, once again returning Mikaeus to play. He then casts Fauna Shaman from hand. There's not too much Kaalia can do at this point, being so low in life he can't give his creatures haste. So he casts a non-hasty Teriel Reckoner of Souls. Medomai currently has a fat board state. He starts by drawing double from Thought Reflection. He then casts Medomai for the first time this game. He then casts Fire Shrieker and equips it to Medomai. He then gives it haste from Lightning Greaves and attacks Marath with Sun Titan and Medomai, dealing Marath 8 commander damage, triggering 2 Medomai extra turn triggers. Medomai draws more cards with Muldrifter and Venser Planeswalker. Over the next 2 turns, Medomai is able to Treachery Karador's Mikaeus and Karn Liberated pesky creatures out of the way for Medomai's creatures' attacks, in order to deal enough combat damage to the rest of the players and win him the game. That's the game. Karador got everyone's life total just low enough with Craterhoof Behemoth attack for the control player to come in at the end to clean up. It was pretty much a game of attrition, with the Medomai's control deck having the legs to go the long game, play enough late game bat creatures, slowly getting value from cards like Sun Titan and his Planeswalkers in order to establish his board dominance. Marath had some pretty relevant plays that game, but late game he didn't have too much other than recasting his commander. Oh, and he did have Molten Disaster in hand, but not the last red mana to be able to cast it and kill everyone at the same time when everyone was at 2 life other than him. Wah wah. Alright, let us know what you thought of the video, and if you want to see some more straight games of Commander, you can do so by checking them out here. Thanks for watching, and remember to always go your clone way. Alright. Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Target Lightning Greaves.
Mm-hmm.
Return Lightning Greaves.
Yep.
Equip.
Yep.
Attack phase.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger.
It is Shroud, so you can't kill it right now.
Crackling Doom.
That you can do.
Oh.
Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good. Oh my gosh.
I was waiting to do that for a while though.
Pretty good.
Okay, I'll make a dude.
We each lose 2.
You sack that.
He comes back and destroys something.
That was so hot. Like, you guys are like, oh, he can't do anything because you waited for him to, and then he's like, ah.
Yeah.